So today we're going to look at radioactivity and more specifically atomic models. Now the way we've seen the atom has evolved throughout history. So this is going to be a mixture of history and science. But it's important to understand how different scientific models evolve because it shows you how science works in the real life and how we develop new ideas. The first model we're going to look at started with Greek philosopher Democritus. Now he believed if you took a solid, let's say a sheet of gold, and torn that in half, you're going to get two smaller sheets of gold. Then if you take one of the smaller sheets of gold, tear that in half, you're going to get even more smaller sheets of gold. Then you take a smaller one again, tear it, and so on and so on and so on. You're going to get to a point where you can't break down this sheet of gold any further. It'll be tiny and you can't break it down any further. Then later on in the early 19th century, John Dalton developed his atomic model from these ideas, then stated that the atom was a tiny sphere that is indivisible. That means it can't be broken down anymore. Then we get to J.J. Thomson, who discovered the electron and developed the Plum pudding model. Now the Plum pudding model describes the atom as a ball of positive charge containing much smaller electrons, just like a plum pudding is a big pudding containing smaller raisins. Then we get to Rutherford, who tested this plum pudding model but actually found something very different from what he expected. Now he found that there is a very small positive charge in the centre of the atom, and we call this the nucleus, and then orbiting around this nucleus we have electrons, and the rest of the atom is empty space. Actually 99.999% of the atom is empty space. We obviously have developed other models from here, such as the Bohr model and the quantum model, but these are a bit more complicated, especially for a GCSE class, so we're not going to go into detail with them. Instead, we're going to look at the gold foil experiment. Now this is the experiment Rutherford did when he was testing the plum pudding and came up with his nuclear model instead.